everybody. Well, here's how the story ends. See, the cherub sent those men. And then God said, okay, since you want to be bad to the cherub, he came and sent an angel, and they killed 185,000 of all his men.
All right.
See, the cherub hung his head, went back to his kingdom, went back to his temple, and bowed before his God, and then his own sons came in and killed him.
All right.
See, you ain't got to say nothing. When folk go against God, just be quiet. God can fight his own fight. Believe me. God can do to them what you can never do to him. I found out when you fight God, you're going to lose every time.
All right.
And you may lose some things you really don't want to lose. See, Reformation is part of the process of knowing that God is real. Also, there are trials that are going to come. See, it manifests God's care concerning us in the church. The small trials we face test our preparedness for the enemy's attack and our willingness to endure. See, the little small stuff you're facing, God's just trying to see, can you handle the big stuff? See, many of us want to be big Christians. Hold out our chest and as young folks go pop our collar. You know, I've been in church all my life. You know, I'm a good Christian. I ain't never done nothing wrong. I've been good for the longest. Last time I did some sin was 30 years ago. 40 years ago, so I know I'm a good Christian. And when God says, okay, I'm going to send a small trial to you, and you're the first one to fall out and say, Lord, why me?
Yeah.
God said, it's a small one. I thought you were the big Christian. I thought you were like Job. You know, I took his children. I took all his money. And yet Job still said and sat on the house of God, I'm with you. Though you slay me, yet will I serve you. See, many of us get a little small trial. God ain't going to take our children, take our money. All we got to do is give them a little bit of sickness.
Amen. All right.
Or one of our children having one little problem. Us and our spouse go through one little bad stage. Or somebody dies in our family. And all of a sudden we say, God, you destroyed me. God, what happened? And God said, oh, I just want to see if you can really do the next step of things. See, the trials that God sends builds confidence in him. If God brought you through before, won't God continue to bring you through?
Well.
As children of God, our confidence will be manifested in our families, in our church, and in our community. Sister Day said something to me this morning as she talked about her son. He taught them, her 4 children, about what death is and how he understood it and was able to handle it even until now of his own. See, what we got to do is teach our children when things come, depend upon God.
Well.
See, when they get older, they don't have to worry about running to you. Mama, Dad, I don't know what to do. Have you talked to God yet? See, when you talk to God first, you ain't got to go to Mom and Dad. Because if Mom and Dad know God, all they going to do is go talk to God for you. And if you know God for yourself, you can go to him first. See, trials provide an opportunity to speak life or death to God's people. Trials allow God to see if you truly trust him or not. See, many of us talk a good game. We know church lingo, we have the right church walk, but when it gets hard, when death, devastation, and discouragement come, can you still say, I can depend on God? Last thing, encouragement provides strength, power, and spiritual foresight to know that God is real. It moves you from circumstantial to providential thinking. It makes you stop thinking about what the doctor said about your condition to what God promised you in your prayer time. See, if in your prayer time that God said you're going to be all right, don't worry about what the doctor got to say. If you're in God with communion and God said I'm going to heal your body and the doctor said you ain't going to make it, tell him, okay. Be like the folk on the wall. Sit there and they say, okay. Thank you, doctor, I'm going on. But my doctor already spoke. Thank you for your diagnosis. The doctor that I serve said I'm going to be all right.
All right.
And then when you go